Hi, my name's Trudie, I'm a member of the IQ Bar team and I'm also one of the vloggers. This week's vlog is all about how to end a session. So how to leave a good lasting impression, ensuring the game slide is used in the right place, when to give homework, and making sure that your ending doesn't come as a shock to your Bready. So if you want some ideas or just to see how other people are doing it, then please watch along, and also feel free to comment and add some more ideas for us all to share some really good practice. So we're going to start looking at how to leave a lasting impression. You want the Bready to feel like they've made an achievement, so you could congratulate them on how well they've done, and even focus on a specific area if they've done really well. Maybe if they found a word really hard to use, or they've been struggling with a concept over time, like articles, then why not give them a compliment if they're making progress on it within this lesson? They'll also want to feel like you've enjoyed the session, so it's really good manners to thank them for the session and let them know that you feel like you want to see them again. It's easy enough to write it in the review, "Oh, I hope to see you soon," but maybe try to say it to them and make it clear that you want to see them again. This doesn't mean pressuring them into a next lesson, or if it's a taster session, making them become a permanent IQ Bar Bready. So you need to strike a good balance. If you've done a good job in your taster and you've done your job, then there shouldn't be a hard sell at the end. So basically, in terms of a lasting impression, who doesn't like things being left on a high note? Have that in the back of your head when you're ending your sessions. So we're going to focus specifically on Picaro sessions now for a little bit. So for Picaro sessions, you'll have the game slide, which can be used at the end of a session. And the reason we use it at the end is because it really helps to consolidate the learning. And if you don't get round to doing it, it's not the end of the world, but it's also something that the Breadies often look forward to. So leaving it at the end, you've got that anticipation, that build up towards it. Plus, if we're all using it consistently, which means if we're all using it at the end of a lesson, then the Breadies will know what to expect. This is particularly important if a buddy covers another buddy, and for some Breadies that can be quite traumatic. Someone different, someone new, but having the same structure can be some kind of comfort to those Breadies, especially those with some kind of special learning needs. So in a Picaro session, you may want to use a game activity as your very last thing you do. Or you may want to give the homework task as the very last thing that you do instead. It's up to you, but these are the last things that you should be doing. There's no set way here whether you should do one first or the other. But try to ensure that when you do give the homework task, you give a brief explanation of what is required in it. I personally often leave a homework slide until the very last thing, because I like the activity to be fresh in their heads when they've left the class. Also bear in mind that if you're ending a Picaro session and you have not completed all of the slides, then you'll have to set your own homework task that is related to what you have covered, not use the final homework slide at the end of the session. And remember to make that really clear in your review as well, so that the next buddy knows exactly what the homework task is and what should have been done. So for CGE sessions, it's kind of short and sweet. So for these, you'll need to set a homework task related to the content and what's been covered in the lesson. Often I have something in mind before the lesson, but it depends how far along we get as to whether I set that task. Ensure you make it really clear to your Bready what the task is, and avoid writing what it is in the comment box at the side of the lesson, because when they watch this back on replay, it's really hard to actually read what's been written in there. I often try and use the big font, and then I use the whiteboard and I put homework, and then I write the homework task as well as orally telling them what I'm expecting. But also it's really helpful to upload an image to your review so it's clear to the Bready exactly what they have to do. And you can find that CGE homework slide template on our resources section, so have a look. So let's chat about the lead up to the end of the session. You don't want the session to come to a screeching halt, so leave plenty of time for your goodbyes. I try to leave some time to review our learning and kind of see it as a plenary time. So I can go over some of the terms learned in the lesson, and it's also a really good final check of the Bready's understanding. And if you're thinking, oh, I need some more targets, actually in this plenary time you can also think of and it helps you to identify any areas and targets that Bready could continue to work towards. If they're an older or more able Bready, you may be able to use some plenary questions. Things like, okay, tell me one thing that you learned today, or what did you find interesting in today's lesson, and why? So as I've mentioned, you could review the session, compliment the Bready on something they did well or any improvements that you've seen, thank them for the session, and make sure they know exactly what their homework task is. And perhaps when you're saying goodbye and how you're looking forward to seeing them, you could say something really nice so that the lesson really does end on a high and something really positive. As always, I really hope this has helped. Contact a member of the team if you need any more information, and it would be so great to hear some of your ideas and suggestions and ways that you deliver the endings to your lessons. Happy teaching, everyone. Bye.